My name is Andrew Lamb. I'm 36 years old from Vacaville, California.
All right, Andrew. So what is your business?
I have an online course that teaches people how to use real estate and 10x traditional cash flow by turning it into a sober living home.
What the heck is a sober living home?
Sober living home is for people who are getting out of residential treatment, they have a drug and alcohol problem, or they just need transitional housing. It's a place for them to have a bed and all utilities covered, washer and dryer, all that stuff. And it's just meant to be kind of a stepping stone to more permanent housing. So if you think about it, someone who's been addicted to drugs and alcohol, they've probably burned every bridge they have. They can no longer sleep on anyone's couch. They may have ended up in jail. And this is a place for them to lay their head, have an address so they can get some support and services, and then be able to save up and eventually move into an apartment or a house.
Are you renting to these people?
In a sense, usually we're paid by local government programs.
Oh, so this is like junkie Section 8.
In a sense, I mean, it's not a halfway house. There's no court order. It's they want to be there and we want them there. So it's got to be a win-win.
You're selling this as a business opportunity, right?
Yep.
You're probably a seasoned real estate investor. Am I correct?
I am.
Do you want to attract only real estate investors or do you want to attract anybody?
Anyone who wants to help people and make a lot of money.
Okay, so then you want to dumb it down. You buy houses and you rent them to recovering alcoholics and the government pays you to do that. Is that what it happens?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. There we go. All right. So that I'm clear, you're struggling in this business right now. And why do you think you're struggling?
I just started it. I've been doing the business myself in terms of housing people like this for a little over 2 years now. I just started a course.
Let me just so I understand this. You buy a house. What do you invest in one of these houses?
I'm in Northern California, so typically somewhere around $400,000 for a fixer.
400 grand probably for like a rock on the side of the road with a mailbox glued to it, right? In California?
Usually it needs a lot of help, yeah.
You know what 400 grand would get you in Costa Rica? It would get you a mansion, okay?
I am aware.
You buy this house for whatever. So on 400 grand, would you have to put any work into it to let them stay there?
For that price, we're buying a major fixer. So we fix it up first.
So what's the total investment?
You could say 400,000. I've done it with other people's money.
Hold on. I'm asking very simple questions here and you're kind of like driving around. Like you're never going to be able to sell stuff if you can't just answer a simple question. How much are you spending on the house, period?
On the house itself, to get it ready, $3,000.
Oh, dude, come on. How much money are you spending? What is the total investment for the house? I'm frustrated is what I am. I'm asking you a simple question. How much do you spend to acquire and get the house ready? It's a very simple question.
400 to 450,000.
Okay, thank you. So let's just say 400 grand. You spend 400 grand, whether you get a loan, whether you pay cash, doesn't matter. It's $400,000 either way. How many people can stay in that house? Like, what do you get paid for these recovering alcoholics to stay in the house? What does the government pay you per month if you max it out or whatever?
Conservatively, $800 per person. I'm in an area where you can get $1,300 per person.
Fantastic. What do you make on a $400,000 house per month?
About $12,000.
$12,000. Is that net?
No, that is gross.
What do you make net?
About $9,000.
I'm just going to explain something to you about sales and marketing real quick. You invest $400,000 to make $9,000 a month. So 9,000 times 12 equals $108,000. 400 divided by 108. Am my math right on that? Is that 37%? 27. You're making a 27% cash on cash return on these properties per year. And that's if you paid cash for the property. If you got a loan for the property, that means $400,000 times what, 20%?
Yeah, you could say that.
At 0.2, so that's $80,000. So let me get this straight. This is that profitable, yet it took you 10 minutes to explain how profitable it was to me after me trying to basically yank it out of you.
I couldn't understand your question.
How much does a house cost and how much do you make a month?
To an investor, there's a lot of nuance there. So I hear what you're saying.
We're not talking about an investor. We're talking, you're selling a course, right? So here I come. I want to make money. Here's you. And you say,
this is why I say 10 times traditional cash flow.
If a beginner says to you, how do I make money with this? And you're trying to explain it, like you have a webinar, right? You have some sort of sales presentation that you use. So let me see your website. What's your website?
SoberLivingRiches.com.
I don't have a problem with your offer. I have a problem with the fact that you have a great offer and you can't explain it. That's the problem. Your offer is fine. I might even buy one of these friggin' houses. Okay. It's great, but you suck at explaining it. So this is your website, your landing page. So let's take a look at this. The headline at the top is Sober Living Home Masterclass, which nobody knows what that means yet, right? how to 10x traditional rental cash flow and retire early without dealing with traditional rental real estate hassles. So what I would do is I would have a headline that says something like how to make 10 times more in real estate with a sober living home. And then the subheadline is how to buy houses, rent them to recovering alcoholics, and have the government pay every penny. Parentheses, this real estate makes 10 times more than traditional rentals. Like, be clear about it. See, if I saw that, I'd be like, wait a minute, whoa, what? Like, I can do what? Or I would split test that and I might say how you can make 10 times more in real estate by renting to recovering alcoholics. And then subheadline, and have the government pay every penny so you never have to look for tenants. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? Pull it out. Okay, nice little JC Penney photo of you. Exactly what a sober living home is and how it can help you make mass cash flow while making an impact in your community. Okay, that's not horrible. How to stop waiting 20 to 30 years for your rental property to be paid off before. Okay, that's good. How we took a rental earning $600 a month in cash flow and grew it to $6,000 a month in 90 days. That's fantastic. That's a headline. Oh my gosh. So let me get this straight. Where did you get your marketing education?
YouTube.
YouTube. So you didn't really buy anything, right?
Well, I have now. I'm in Legacy University.
Oh, you bought my stuff. Okay. You should watch it. This right here is look at this headline. Look at this sweet, sexy headline. How we took a rental earning $600 a month in cash flow and grew it to $6,000 a month in 90 days. That should be right here, not sober home living masterclass. Okay? Bro, put that right here. Full case study of how we used a government program to 10x the rental income of our rental property, or 10x the income of our rental property. That is it right there. Does that make sense? This is garbage. This is vanilla porridge left out cold for 7 hours and then poured on your face. That sucks. All right. This is gold. This is amazing. This is, dude, I mean, did you write this headline or this
Yes,
bullet?
I did.
You did?
That was me.
So you have the ability to do this. What technology we use to automate, process, and work less than 2 hours a week to manage all of our properties? Okay. Our 4-step READ framework for connecting with referral sources to ensure you're... See, this right here is a little too... I'd be like, why you never have to worry about finding tenants for a sober living home, or why you never have to worry about tenants when you use this government program. That one. Matthew Leskow. Do you know who Matthew Leskow is? So if you're 36, you should know who Matthew Leskow is. You need to research that guy, especially if you're going to be a marketer. So this sucks. What's the next page? Learn how a sober living home can 10x your cash flow or making positive impact. I would use the same headline as the landing page, by the way. You have this tiny video that should be a big video, not this tiny little junk. Sober Living Riches is the ultimate online course for learning how to 10x your cash flow by launching blah, blah, blah. So you just have this video here and then you just have like a button to enroll. I would have this video nice and big, especially if it's supposed to be a training.
Well, I slapped this together because I'm a member of this real estate investing group. I knew we were going to do a podcast episode and I wanted to have an offer. I knew I wanted to pre-launch the course.
I understand. You put it in here and said, screw it, I'm going to be lazy and just toss it in here, right? Is that what you're saying?
It was the fastest way to get it done. And I haven't re-recorded an actual
Are you spending
webinar.
any money on advertising for this business?
Zero.
What have you made so far?
About $23,000.
In what time period?
4 months.
How much is this program?
It was $14.97 when we pre-launched, and it's $19.97 now.
So it's $2,000. So how many do you sell a month?
2 or 3.
2 or 3. Okay.
Because I was on a podcast. That's how people found me.
How many people registered at the page before this, went to this page, watched this, clicked this little button right here?
Everyone who has signed up has gone through this process.
Okay. That's what I want to know. So this is your main sales acquisition, correct?
Yeah.
Got it. How many people have opted in and watched this page?
150 so far.
And how many people have bought?
15 have bought.
15
150 have opted in.
Really? That's a 10% conversion rate.
Yeah.
That's really good. You realize what would happen if you put a little more effort into this, right?
I do. That's why we're here.
This podcast right here, I'm assuming it was a really good podcast, correct?
Almost too good. I've actually had some people say, hey, I'm going to use what you told me in the class, and then if I need you, I'll come back.
I smell something fishy here, that this would convert at 10%. There is definitely something going on here. Are you talking to these people before they watch it? How are they getting there?
Initially, right, I had 9 people in my pre-launch.
A human being opts in and they go to this page. How do you even get that human being in contact?
Several of them were on this call, like it was a Zoom call or it was live streamed into a group. So it was almost like it was warm.
Super warm.
Cold traffic isn't converting as well.
Okay, so that's what we need to worry about is cold traffic, because if you did a webinar or you did an interview with this guy and people were on and then they went through this, of course it's going to convert at 10%. That's why I thought this was fishy. For cold, how many cold people have gone into this?
That's a really good question.
You don't know that.
I don't know the
You
exact
might want to know
number.
that if you want to grow your business.
It's like 120.
How many of those people bought?
3 or 4 conversions.
Well, is it 3 or is it 4?
Let's call it 4.
No, let's not call it. How do you don't know your numbers?
Because it's hard to say, because some of them do reach out to me and message me first.
But where did they come from?
Either from YouTube. All of my recent sales, the last 3 have been straight from this video posted on YouTube.
Okay, so organic warm traffic. Okay, cool. So 3 divided by, or you said 4? Did you say let's call it 4?
Yeah.
So 4 divided by 120. That's a 3% conversion ratio. That sounds a lot more accurate. But it's still good. Between 2 and 3% is still good. For somebody to opt into a website and watch a video and then give you $2,000 at 3% is actually really good. But it would be better if you hooked people's attention more in the beginning and you edited this video slightly. So what I would do is I'd use a software called Descript and I'd clean this up to increase retention. Can I tell you why you're converting as good as you are? It's not your marketing. Your marketing sucks. It's your offer. And this is what most people don't realize about this game. Most people don't realize that 95% of this game is the offer. It's not the marketing, it's the offer. Because when the offer is good, the marketing is automatically gonna work decent. Unless you just are completely, like you can't speak English, it's gonna work. So you don't have to be a great marketer to sell a really great offer. Also, if you have a bad offer or an offer that nobody really cares about, you can have amazing marketing and it won't sell. What you have here, sir, is a great offer. If what you're saying is true, if I can go buy a house for $400 grand and make $9,000 a month on it, and it's paid for by the government, you could stand out on the side of the road, dressed like a bear, covered in mud, with your balls hanging out on the sidewalk, and say, buy my stuff, and people would buy it. You could literally tattoo an image of a donkey's ass on your forehead. And once you explain that you can buy a house for $400,000 and make $9,000 a month, somebody's going to buy from you. Imagine what would happen if you had good marketing.
I can imagine.
Because here's what's going to happen. You're converting at 3% warm traffic right now, which is, it's okay. It's decent. But when you start going to cold traffic, and when I mean cold traffic, like if you spent money on Facebook ads, that's going to drop probably to like 0.5%, which is not sustainable. 3% is good at cold traffic, but warm, it needs to be more like 5 to 7%. Now, the other thing is, why is this only $2 grand?
Because I was told without getting on live, it's difficult to sell anything above 2,000. And I have noticed from the simple raise from $14.97 to $19.97, sales have dropped.
Like, have you made more money or less money?
I've made less because I've sold less.
That's not how math works, okay? If you double your price and your sales drop less than 50%, you've made more money.
True. Yeah.
That's math.
What should I price it at?
First of all, hold on. Let's get this concept down. If 100 people are interested in your product and 10 people buy, that's a 10% conversion ratio. If you charge $1,000, that means you're making $10,000. If you charge $2,000 and 5 people buy, that's now a 5% conversion ratio. So how much do you make now?
Same amount.
Same amount. So if 7% buy, meaning you've dropped from 10 to 7, do you still make more?
Yes.
Yes, yes, you do. That's called math. Okay.
Yeah.
So my point is, as long as your sales didn't dip by more than half, you're making more. You get me? All right. So let's do this. Let's find out what the right price point is for low ticket, and then I'll tell you how you can make a lot more money. Do you know what your conversion rate was at $14.97?
I don't remember the exact date.
How are you going to run a business and price things if you don't know your numbers?
That's why I'm here.
But dude, like I can't tell you to wake up and use the bathroom and brush your teeth. Like this is normal stuff, right? You got to know your numbers. All right. You don't, that's fine. You could sell this for at least $5,000 minimum.
Okay.
Would you get on the phone and talk to somebody if you could get 5,000, maybe even 10,000?
I would. And honestly, people message me all the time. Hey, can I have a quick call? Can you tell me what's exactly included in your offer?
So we'll get to that in a second, and I'm going to show you how you can charge $10,000 for this offer. But first, what's your Instagram?
The Andrew Lamb.
Okay, sober living home expert, founder of Sober Living Riches, transferring lives through real estate. I love what, by the way, I just want to say I do love that this is not just about making money. This is about helping people. I love that. But I also love the fact that you're making 10x more than most people. So that's pretty cool too. Okay. So let's take a look at this. You and Barbara, whatever the heck her name is from.
Yeah. Barbara Corcoran.
Flip update. Okay. I like this. I like the documenting. Yes. You're documenting what you're doing. But see, you're just walking around not saying anything or saying random stuff. What you should be doing is walking around saying, you see this house right here, guys? We bought this for $400,000. We're going to put about $50,000 into it. When it's ready, the government is going to pay us roughly $12,000 a month to put recovering alcoholics in here. You probably don't even know that this program exists. Listen, go ahead and comment sober, and I'll shoot you a message telling you more about how to get into this type of real estate. And then what you do, when they comment sober, you say, hey, I shot you a DM. You reach out to them, and you sell them over DM. And if you want to automate that, what you can do is you can create a chat bot that when they say that word, the chat bot reaches out to them and say, hey, thanks for commenting on my reel and in your interest in sober living homes. I have a video I can send you. Could you do me a favor and watch it and then message me back and I'll answer any questions? They go watch it, they message you back. You can even have a follow-up where it waits 24 hours and it automatically responds and say, hey, did you see the video? Then over DM, you can sell them. I have routinely sold 2,000, 5,000, 10,000. I've even sold $55,000 offers purely over DM with no phone call. But I'm also pretty good at this. So you could do it too, but you could also get them on the phone and easily sell them. So I like what you're doing here, but I love the documentation. The documentation is fantastic, but you have to be more intentional. Okay. You can do direct sales, like direct call to actions, like DM me, whatever, or you can give pure value where you're like, here's the math behind this. This house costs $300,000. We're putting about $25,000 worth of renovations into it, and we're going to let recovering alcoholics stay here. The government's going to pay for them, and we're going to make about $9,000 a month. Isn't that awesome? Like, you could do that too and mix and match. When you post a reel, do you also share it to your story?
I do. I will be honest. Because I do this where I live, I've been a little quiet about it so that the neighbors aren't like, oh my gosh, there's addicts living next door to me, which is why I haven't posted as much. I need to get over it.
Let's say your neighbors saw that. What would happen?
A couple of them have called complaining.
Who do they call to complain?
Me.
Do they have any recourse?
No.
There's this amazing button on your phone. It's a big red circle. It's this big red circle and it's magical. You just press it and the conversation's over. I love it. Okay. Who cares? You want to make more money?
Absolutely.
Why do you want to make more money?
Because I have 5 little girls.
You have 5 kids.
Yep.
You have 5 kids you got to pay for, and you're worried about what your neighbor thinks?
Not anymore.
Good attitude. Especially with 5 kids. Holy moly. You know what I would tell your neighbor? I'd be like, I tell you what, I will get rid of all these alcoholics and I'll rent it to someone else for 1/10 the price, and then you can come over and feed my kids. Would you like that? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you didn't know that? You didn't know I got paid 10 times more than our traditional rental? Yeah, actually I could teach you how to do it. I have a program on that. And then sell it to them. Sell them. Okay, if they complain, you sell them. If they're interested, you sell them. If they call the cops on you, you sell them. When the cops get there, you sell the cops. If they book you, you sell the booking cop that books you in. When you're in the jail cell, if there's a guy next to you, you sell him. You come home with a record and a lot more money, but whatever, okay? You sell everyone, because everyone would want to make 10 times more in real estate than you normally could. I don't care who they are, where they are, they just don't even know it. They don't know that you're doing this. Next time they call to complain, you sell them your program. That's what you do. I'm dead serious. When do you think you can get your next complaint call?
Probably next week.
Next week, you better sell your neighbor one of these programs. You hear me? Have you ever told me you make 10 times more than a normal rental?
No, because then if they sue me, now I'm a target.
Aren't each one of these properties in its own LLC?
In a sense.
It's not in a sense.
No, I'm in California. That's very expensive.
First of all, that's your first mistake, being in California. Can't you just identify as someone that doesn't have to pay taxes?
I wish.
I would think that would work there. All right, let's take a look at your business bank statement. This business bank statement, is this for your course business? Don't tell me this. Please don't tell me this.
Where are my Stripe deposits? Because it's an S Corp. I talked to my CPA about it and my bookkeepers. They're all good with it because it's not making much money and it's basically just a DBA.
What business account is this?
It's a real estate.
For your real estate properties?
Yeah, I have a team.
So you're running your course business under the same company that your real estate is under. So that means if somebody sues you in your course business, they can go after one of your rental properties.
No, that's different. So I sell real estate.
Oh, you're a real estate agent.
Team that sells real estate, yeah.
Okay, that's better, but you should have a separate account. And by what do you mean it's expensive? You make $9,000 a month off a $400,000 house. Don't tell me it's expensive. You're balling over here. So let's see, what do you got here? Venmo, Stripe, there's a lot of transactions. So essentially this is not a bank statement from your course business, from your education business.
I don't have one that is just for that.
Your fees that you pay for your software for it, any fees you pay Stripe, all that, that's all mixed in with your real estate business.
Yep.
Okay, well, that's
and my bookkeeper books it separately.
And your bookkeeper said that was okay?
And my CPA.
Your CPA said that okay?
My CPA does a good job of helping me not pay taxes.
I would be worried that he does too good of a job. And you might be like, I have got the knock at the door from the IRS before, and it started with the CPA that saves me so much in taxes, but yet is okay with me mixing two businesses in the same business account. Yes, that's how it starts. Just some advice. Walk me through this, my friend. I want to buy a house in Florida, and I want to rent it to a junkie, and I want to help him turn his life around, and I want the government to pay for it. In general, what do I do?
You find a property that is in the right location.
What's the right location?
Close to public transportation, close to shopping. Basically a good walk score, 50 plus walk score.
Got it.
And then you reach out to your health and social services department in your county, your probation department, like these different places that would pay to house their clients. And you tell them, I have a house for your people. And they tell you how to get set up with them so that they can send people your way. They'll come and do a walkthrough first. That's really all there is to it.
Don't you have to get approved by the government for the government to pay you?
No license needed, no certification needed. You're protected by fair housing laws. It's really simple.
Hold on. This does not seem... Why don't I already know about this?
For the same reason I didn't initially talk about it. Because you got people who are doing this whole not in my backyard thing. And as soon as they find out about it, they get mad.
What do you mean not in my backyard? They're probably alcoholics too. They just didn't go to recovery. Like, what do you mean?
We get some nosy neighbors sometimes. We're good neighbors.
First of all, in Florida, everyone's an alcoholic, so nobody's going to complain. They're probably going to go over and ask if they can bum a cigarette or something, okay? So it wouldn't be a problem in Florida. But explain this to me. Let me just make sure I get this down. I buy a house. I call up a meth recovery center or something. I say, I got a house. Your people can stay in it. Who pays me?
Usually it's local government.
How do I call them and say, a junkie just rented my house, give me a check? Like, explain.
So in the course, we go over exactly who to call, how to call. I have recorded phone calls. I have email templates. You just basically search for the drug and alcohol programs in your area, city and county, find their emails, find their phone numbers, call them, email them, let them know you have housing coming soon. You'd like to set up a walkthrough.
This is a really good offer.
And there's not enough housing for people like this, which is why my houses are full. That's why I started 5 my first year.
No, I get it, because as much as I'm making fun of this, honestly, I have a lot of people in my life, especially past relationships, that I left because they were alcoholics. And a lot of people in my life were ruined from alcohol. And I personally quit because it was creeping up there for me too. So I definitely admire you for doing this. I like the fact that you're able to provide this, because these are people who are really down on their luck, right? Meaning they're not just an alcoholic. They've let alcohol completely ruin their life. They have no money and they have no place to stay. They went to a recovery program, and now you're giving them a chance to live. Yeah, find a place and get back on their feet, correct? Get a job or they have a place to live.
Yeah, there's people who would be dead if we didn't give them a place to lay their head.
Usually what's noble doesn't make money, but in this case, I like it. If I can be noble and make a bunch of money, I like it. Okay, I'm going to help you sell this for $10,000, but I need to know 2 things. What's the biggest obstacle somebody could encounter when doing this? Like if I just went and tried to do it based off what you just said, what is the big, and I'll ask my second question in a minute, what is the biggest obstacle I will encounter?
Number one thing is not doing enough market research and relying on maybe one program to send you people. And then you never gain any traction. You can't cover the mortgage and you have to shut down. That's what I see happen the most. They just don't connect with enough organizations and government programs. They don't diversify at all, and they don't get anyone sent to their house.
So basically what can go wrong is you don't do it right. You have this house and then you can't find renters at this rate. And so now you either have to sell the house or rent it to a normal family, in which case you're not going to make hardly any rental income.
Right. Especially today, it's probably going to cash flow $100 maybe.
Okay, got it, which is not good. That tells me exactly what type of offer you need to make to charge $5,000 or $10,000. And your students will get better results. You've had what? You said 15 people buy this thing?
Yeah.
And how many have successfully bought a house and got people in it?
3 so far.
3 out of 15. Pretty good. And are they making money?
They are. The issue they're running into is because I don't teach how to actually find the house. We kind of just make the assumption that they're going to find a place.
Well, you don't teach how to find the house?
I have people who have enough relationships now that they're getting phone calls like, hey, we want to place people, but they haven't secured a location yet.
Yeah, and you don't help with that?
Not yet. I've been thinking of a high ticket offer.
Okay. Look, here's what you do. In order to sell this high ticket, all you have to do is have a weekly call where it's like you do this pitch, you explain how it works, and then it's like the biggest problem that people run into when trying to create a sober living home is they don't do their market research, they don't find the right property, they can't find the right property, or when they do, they actually can't get people to rent it because they don't know how to reach out to the right organizations and get it. And now they're left with a property that's making them no money. What we do inside of Sober Living Riches is every week we have a call. And on that call, you're going to come on and you're going to show me the properties you're looking at, and I'm going to review them with you. You're going to show me who you've reached out to, and I'm going to bring people on and I'm going to review and say, hey, here's where you're going wrong. Here's where you're doing this wrong. Here's what you need to do better. And I'm going to handhold you through the process. You'll see me working with other people as well. You'll hear questions asked that you wouldn't think to ask, and you'll hear the answers. And through this process, not just in our base education that teaches you how to do it, but in our weekly coaching calls where I help you find and run the deals, you can make an incredible income in real estate and help people who are down and out get back on their feet and do some good and get paid handsomely for it. And you know what? That's how it should be. It shouldn't be that the noble things pay the least. It should be that the noble things pay the most. And in life, that generally doesn't happen. But in this one case, in the case of a sober living home, these local government programs have made it possible. Finally, there is a way to truly help people and get paid an immense amount of money to do so. So if that sounds like it's up your alley, if that resonates with you, I want you to click the link right now and book a call. Hop on the phone and we'll go over this program with you and see if it's for you. And if it is, we'll show you how to get in. And we'll see you on the next coaching call.
Really good. Yeah.
What you got to do for a high ticket program is simple. You can take any low ticket program and make it a high ticket program by finding what the biggest obstacle is, the biggest thing that they are going to struggle with, and simply get on a call every week and help them with it. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if you said, here's $2,000, for $2,000, watch these videos and go do this, or for 10 grand, I'll get on a call every week and review your deals and you can blah, blah, blah. I would pay you 10 grand, well over 2 grand. I'd be more likely to waste 2 grand than to get an insane ROI off 10 grand. You see what I'm saying?
That's smart. Because I'm already doing it. I'm just not getting paid for it. I had a guy literally text me the last 2 days, hey, what about this property? What about this property?
And you say, oh, I don't help them find the properties. Okay, Zoom, come on the call, talk. That's it. You don't have to go spend 10 hours recording a course. Just get on Zoom and explain it every day. It's simple. You got a $10,000 program. You want to sell for 5 a few times, just to get your confidence up, whatever. You can do that. But you absolutely can charge more for this. Okay? Absolutely. Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
Are you willing to tonight put a calendar on there, open up your schedule, charge $5,000, set a recurring Zoom every week, announce it to your clients, and just run the traffic to the same page, let them book calls, get on the phone and sell them for $5,000. Are you willing to do that?
100%.
All right. Helpful?
Very.
Let me know what happens in 30 days. Thank you, brother.